What up, y'all? It's your boy Dawson from D&D TV. Thank you for rating, commenting, and subscribing. Everybody who's donated, those of y'all who will, I appreciate it. Also, go over to my other YouTube channel, Dawson Speak TV. Make sure you subscribe over there. Okay, y'all, let's go ahead and get into this story. Now, a couple of months ago, when the situation happened with Young Buck and the transgender, I didn't say anything about it. A bunch of YouTubers were making videos on it. I didn't make any videos on it because I did a video months ago about a transgender who was murdered by this guy who said he didn't know that the transgender was a transgender, and he stabbed the transgender several times. And I'm looking at the picture of the transgender that the man killed, and I'm like, how could you not know this was a transgender? And people went back and forth. Oh, these transgenders, they out here tricking people. They out here lying to people. They're out here, it's called rape and all this stuff. And I just said, you know what? I'm not touching no more issues like that. You know, I'm not going back and forth with people because I think it's a cop-out when you could look at somebody and they look the splitting image of a nigga you used to play football with, and you telling me that's a female, but I digress. So when people were saying all this other kind of stuff, I just say I'm not going to touch the Young Buck situation. But here we are, months later, in a similar situation with an NBA player this time, Dwight Howard, being basically outed by this transgender named Masin Eljie. Now, Masin went on Twitter and basically put everything out, how Masin meant Dwight, what they did somewhat sexually. And people, you know, I guess didn't kind of believe or whatnot when Masin was pointing out all this stuff. But Masin did what the transgender did to Young Buck. Released recorded phone calls. You cannot hide or say you don't know who this person is when you all are talking on the phone. And it's a situation where we're listening and it's like, this ain't no stranger to you, bro. You know this person. So Masin has said that he has been harassed by pastor of Dwight Howard, Calvin Simmons, and who is on Dwight Howard's management team, and also teammates who called Masin a man in a wig, all other kinds of, you know, names and things like that. And I want to ask my audience, this is going to probably be the shortest video Dawson has ever done. Do you think that Dwight Howard was tricked? Do you? Do you think that Dwight Howard was tricked? Yes or no? By this transgender Masin? And then I also want to ask a question, because when I was doing a little bit of research on this story, because it's just coming out now and people are putting up videos and doing stuff on it now, I saw that this transgender Masin has followers on Twitter and stuff, but also wrote a book. And then I went to I'm like, wait a minute, are you doing this just to promote your book? Because when you look at your Twitter, that's the first thing you see is this book. And everybody on Twitter is going crazy over this. Dwight Howard, I think he's trending right now. But when I look at this transgender, I'm like, so you basically outed this man just to say for a book? And then I'm like, how? That's what people, I mean, we're in a world now where everybody is thirsty for fame. They don't care how they get it. They thirsty for money. They don't care, straight, gay, bi, whatever. That's how people are. People are thirsty. And if they could use you as a stepping stone in many cases, even some of your own family members, they're going to do it. But when I look at Masin's Twitter account, it seems that you basically pulled this stunt basically just to sell a book because you were thirsty for fame. But let me tell you something, Masin, because Dawson has been on YouTube for years. Y'all are new to our show. We have been doing this for years. And we have seen stories like this that have faded away and nobody even knows those people's name. And there was one transgender who tried to do the same thing to LL Cool J because they had a book coming out and they put his information in the book. And we haven't heard about that, and that's been years. I'm probably the only one remember that because this story is similar to it. You're trying to promote a book, so you put somebody out there. Let me say this to men and women who, no matter what your sexual orientation is, when you are a groupie or you are looking for fame or you're trying to latch on to a celebrity, female or male or whoever, because you're trying to come up, while you're trying to come up, they are only using you to come on. Preach, Dawson. I think I will. My God. I felt that. While you are trying to come up, they are only using you to come on. Y'all better be careful. Because, see, some people will plot the perfect murder. And I'm not saying that's what needs to happen. And this is not just because this is the y'all don't watch Fatal Attraction. I told y'all. Fatal Attraction has humbled me as a person in this world. People, family members, friends, people at the church, people at the job, people do some horrible things. And especially when you have a person's secret or you're going to tear up a person's family. Because I'm sure, who gonna buy that book? Nobody ain't gonna buy that book. The name of the book is called Industry Whore. Industry Hoe. I tell you right now, you're already in another genre. But it's like, who gonna buy that? After this blows away, after this goes away, that's it. No one's gonna know you. You ain't gonna be like the other ones who got a TV gig. That's few and far in between. Like, for real. So I guess what I'm trying to say is for men and women who on this, and it's a lot of them out there, man, they lurking. They in Atlanta, they in Miami, they in LA, they in New York, men and women who have a thirst for fame. And not just people in music and on television and sitcom, even people on YouTube. You got some YouTubers. Tim De La Ghetto on Wildin' Out. Millions of followers. You don't think it's people who try to get close to you, to manipulate you, to get what you have? Even if you got 300,000 or 500,000, almost a million. Come on, man. Everybody is looking for the next come up. Man, this is a very weird situation. I just want y'all to answer that question for me. I'm getting off of this. Do you think Dwight Howard was tricked? And also, do you think this transgender Masin Eljie is just doing this for fame? Put that down in the comment section. Y'all let your boy know what you think. Until then, it's your guy Dawson. Take care of yourself and each other. Peace.